What's happening, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Tuesday. It's April 30th, the last day of April. Time flies. Hard to believe. In this video, we're going to be discussing Cannara Biotech. We're going to be going over their Q2 2024 earnings. We'll do a review, and then we'll look at the chart at the end. I'll give some opinions on the technicals and what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say. And also, I do own, full disclosure, I do own Cannara Biotech in my portfolio. And before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So they did report Q2 2024 financial results. It was a bit of a wider net loss versus a year ago. So they did have negative EPS, spoiler alert. In terms of analyst estimates, there wasn't really any major coverage. So there wasn't really any, I didn't find any estimates. I was looking at Moomoo, I was looking at investing.com. There wasn't really anything there. And they did have revenue up 51%, but we'll go over the details on some of the highlights, and then we'll bring up some of their cash position and everything as well. And then, like I said, we'll look at the chart here in just a moment, but their net revenue increased to $19.7 million for the quarter, Q2 2024. And that's from $13 million in Q2 2023. So it represented a 51% increase. Gross profit before fair value adjustments increased to $7.1 million in Q2 2024 from $4 million in Q2 2023, a 77.2% increase, and delivered a 12th consecutive quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA of $3.5 million. And all dollars are in Canadian dollars, unless otherwise stated. Let me just go down a little bit quicker. Net loss, so $3.4 million in Q2 2024 compared to a net loss of $618,055 in Q2 2023. The company generated positive operating cash flow amounting to $2.3 million in Q2 2024. Free cash flow for Q2 2024 increased to $1.2 million. So gross profit, I mentioned that already. We'll go through, they mentioned some of their market share in their MD&A, their management discussion and analysis as well, but they kind of go through it in the press release as well. But obviously expansion into Manitoba, and then obviously into Alberta and BC being a big one, where they're continuing to grow market share. Alberta, 2.3% market share, up 40.6%. Ontario, 2.98% share of Canada's largest MJ market. And then company ranks as the third largest licensed producer in Quebec, holding approximately 9% of the provincial market share during Q2 2024, which we know they're based out of. And we'll just bring up the report here. So if we bring up the consolidated statements, you can see cash was $3,130,629. So it is down from August 31st, 2023, where it was sitting at $4.2 million and change. So it is dwindling a little bit there, but still sitting on north of $3 million in cash. And as we know, they're not really burning through that. They're not really, this quarter was a little bit different. It was a little bit of an anomaly. I think last quarter they had positive 0.02 for EPS. If we just scroll down here, yeah, they had positive 0.02. So they had a positive outcome, and then this time it was negative. So they had a wider, like I said, loss than the year prior. If we scroll down here, you can see basic loss per diluted share. So yeah, negative. So they had a loss of 3.4 million and change, and that equated to negative 0.04 for EPS. And then, like I said, 19.683 million for the quarter in terms of revenue. So we'll go through their MD&A here real quick. Just obviously not going to go through everything here. It's 31 pages. It would be all day if we went through everything in this, but I highly encourage you to check out their MD&A as well. There's always lots of great information and commentary in here, but I just wanted to scroll down. So they give you your update on the facilities, and then some of their brands, some of their strains, and then I wanted to go through this part here. Yeah, so Quebec 9% estimated Cannara market share for Q2 2024 and Q1 2024. Quebec is 9% in Q2 2024. Q1 2024 was 8.7%, a change representing 0.3%. Ontario 2.88 this quarter from 3.15, so a slight decrease. Alberta 3.23 up from 2.3, representing a 40.65% increase. You can tell Alberta is a big focus, right? I reside in Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm seeing it all the time. When I go into dispensaries like Canna Cabana is where I shop majority, but Valley Buds, I'm seeing it all over the place. And lots of really great feedback about it. So BC sitting at 1%, up from 0.84%, representing an increase of 18.58%. And then estimated Cannara market share as of March 2024, Quebec 9.77%, Ontario 2.98%, Alberta 3.28%, and BC 0.89%. And then they go through some of the markets there with some commentary as well. But again, that was kind of what I wanted to show everybody, and they talk about their different formats with all of their different SKUs. And then just some highlights here. Basically everything that we went over, but like I said, negative 0.04, so stock was down quite a bit, and likely because of that, the wider loss. And also Mumu did a good job going over it here as well. A vertically integrated producer of MJ saw a net loss widen, but 51% increase in total revenue for Q2 2024. Net loss, as I mentioned, $3.4 million for the quarter. And see if there's anything else here that they mentioned. Oh yeah, their margins. I think they brought their margins up from 30% to 36%. So let's just take a look at that. I think I actually mentioned it in here. Margin. Yeah. So we've seen our gross profit margin increase to 36.3% from 30.9%, alongside a notable 8.7% increase in adjusted EBITDA. And then they mentioned here, with our 10th grow zone now operational, our annual production capacity has increased to 33,500 kgs, underlining our dedication to increasing capacity to meet the growing market demand for our products, said Zohar Krivorot, President and CEO. And as you know, I've already done multiple interviews with Nicholas Sosiak, the CFO. There's some commentary from him as well. I have to get him back on. If you're listening, Nick, we'll have to get something done here in the near future, hopefully. About time for an update, and I'm sure my viewers and audience would appreciate that, and then maybe we can get Zohar on. We tried to last time, and he ended up having an injury, so couldn't make it last minute, but they did say, Zohar did say that it was a challenging market environment for the past quarter, but Cannara continued to demonstrate their positive execution towards becoming one of the leading MJ companies in Canada. And I'm very bullish on them long term. They're still expanding, all over Canada, right? And then Ontario doubling their store count from 75 to 150. They mentioned international market as well. So they went into Germany effective April 1st, legalized for adult use. And a significant shift in the European market. Israel, despite initial delays due to regional conflicts, the Israeli Ministry of Health announced the phased implementation of medical MJ reform starting April 1st, 2024. Although the main focus of revenues for the company remains its Canadian client base, Germany and Israel's announced MJ legalization strategies further validates the potential for increased demand in legal MJ markets and aligns with Cannara's proven capability to sell at an international level. So something that we can continue to see as a potential growth catalyst down the road, right? All these international markets, European markets, the U.S. There was a video, I just posted a video yesterday. Opposition group says rescheduling decision as early as this week, said it could come today or tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but we can definitely use a headline right now and some positive news. But already just under 10 minutes here on the video, so I'll jump into the chart. I do want to keep this video a little bit shorter. And again, if you want to go into their MD&A, you can read through that. But if there's anything that I missed or anything that stood out to you, just let me know in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there with regards to their financials. But one big thing in the industry that has been hindering the industry is high excise taxes, and we didn't see any kind of tax break for that in the 2024 budget. So it was definitely a missed opportunity, in my opinion, and a lot of people were let down, and industry executives, just very disappointed, and obviously, I think investors, everybody at large, very disappointed. Some companies paying 1/3 of their revenue going to excise taxes. So Organigram, Oxley, they've said that about 1/3 of their revenue is going to excise tax. So one thing I did want to bring up here was excise taxes. Yeah. So here we go. So it says here, let's make sure I'm on Q. No, this is Q1. So for Q1 2024, they paid $7.811 million. And then for Q2, they paid $7.527 million. So slightly lower on Q2 2024, which is interesting. So if that's always something that can improve in the future, right? So we'll see. It could happen, over the course of the next 6 to 12 months potentially, but it could be longer than that. As we know, rescheduling decision in the U.S. could come any day, any week, any month, and just because it's announced and rescheduling is approved doesn't mean that it's actually going to get enacted, right? It's going to go through 2-3 months comment period. There could be some lawsuits and litigation, other documentation, and other kind of process, kind of just going through all the regulatory hoops and red tape. So it could be many, many months, right? It could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 2 years, depending on, how many lawsuits and how much litigation goes on. So we'll see. At the end of the day, it's imminent. And if we get this Schedule 3 approved by DOJ and DEA, then I think it's pretty much a done deal. And I don't think it'll be a coincidence that we'll see some sort of reform for the Canadian companies as well, right? We know Constellation Brands and invested into Canopy, and we know that, Altria into Kronos. We've got Imperial Brands and Oxley. We've got British American Tobacco and Organigram. So, a lot of these companies, these billion-dollar corporations, are going to have lots of dollars to lobby the government. And as we know, it's usually the big corporations that get what they want. So I think, the writing's on the wall. But we are testing key support here at 75 cents, which we're sitting right on at the moment, Canadian on the TSXV. So this is crucial support because we don't have any until about 60 cents after that, and that's factoring in the reverse split they did 1 for 10. It seems like a lot of stocks have been doing 1 for 10 reverse splits lately, including Canopy and a few other stocks. So pretty much all the major companies have already done it, except I guess Tilray. But it's been a brutal bear market, but we're right on critical support. So obviously not telling you to buy so whole, but definitely a decent area to start scooping some up, in my opinion. And if you're looking for a company that is flying under the radar, I think this is a very undervalued company that has a lot of promise for the future. And we're gearing up for the first ever potential monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. There's a lot of things that we're looking to do for the first time. We're looking at I guess we already had a 50 and 100 weekly bull cross, and you can see price reacted very positively as a result. Then we had a bear across the shorter term above the longer term, in this case the 50 and the 100 weekly, and we saw tons of downside, whereas now we're gearing up for that second ever 50 and 100 weekly bull cross. But we just established the 200 weekly there, and that would be up at 112, so we could potentially be seeing that first ever cross. And we're also gearing up for a golden cross as well. So the charts are definitely heating up at the moment, but across the space, we have tons of names that are confirming monthly uptrends. Unfortunately, Cannara is not one of them. We're actually in a monthly downtrend with lower highs, lower lows, and at the low of this monthly candle, and only 1 day left, 1 trading day left today, right, in this monthly candle. So it's not looking good, but the best that bulls can really hope for at this point is we see a pretty big lower wick and we close the day and show some buying pressure here, and bulls eating that up. But as of right now, we could be heading back down to around that 60 cents if we lose 75 cents here. But that would imply another drop of around 19-20%, which wouldn't be the end of the world. But like I said, this is a company that I'm very bullish on. If you haven't seen my MJ Portfolio 2024 update, you can check that out. I give my entire portfolio with percentage breakdown. and the weighting of each. But we already had the stochastic and the MACD bear cross as well, and we've already got tons of follow through. So it does look like downside could be a little bit limited here. And like I said, we do have that key support at 75 cents, and then after that 60 cents. So must hold level, going to be 75 cents here, or else we could see, like I said, somewhere around that 19 to 20% drop from there as we have a lack of support. So bulls can try to defend that and hope for, you know, some sort of news catalyst, because that's basically what the whole industry is doing right now. But if you're somebody like me and you're not worried about this space, you're diversified, you've got a mix of Canadian producers, US producers, retailers in Canada, US, ETFs, and you're diversified into other sectors, right? Whether it be crypto, real estate, mutual funds, different types of investments, precious metals, things like that. You want to put all your eggs in one basket. And again, if you want to see how I'm diversified, you can check out my MJ Portfolio 2024 update with percentage breakdown. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on these results. Like I said, that wider loss and negative EPS, I think, really kind of spooked people, and more than likely a majority of the reason why we're seeing weakness in the stock. And obviously saying it was a challenging quarter, and then no excise tax reform. So it's pretty bleak right now for the Canadian LPs. But like I said, once we see a potential rescheduling decision, which I think is the most likely scenario, we get it approved by the DEA, we're going to see the whole sector ignite, right? And then Florida potentially on the ballot, potentially enacted in 2025. We'll see it's on the ballot for 2024, and tons of other catalysts, right? Germany coming online, second pillar will be in probably a year or so. And lots of growth catalysts ahead. And Cannara still just kind of spanning across their own home country, right? Still got to expand across all of Canada. So it's been a long morning and night for me. I didn't really sleep at all. So it's been kind of the theme in my life in the last few months with a 3-month newborn daughter. So anyway, she's super sweet and totally worth it. But if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Smash a like if you think I earned it. Let me know your biggest takeaway from these earnings. And we'll continue the conversation there in the comment section below. But hope you have a great day ahead. It's Rob with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.